y'all. Hope you can see me okay. I'm gonna try to get all these figured out here. I am actually trying to do simultaneously here on Facebook and Periscope, and you should see my setup. It is crazy. So I'm trying to look and see if y'all are gonna be able to see me on both cameras. Anyway, I wanted to talk about squatting and your pelvic floor. So a lot of people think that, first of all, my name's Olivia Cagle, and thanks for joining. My name's Olivia Cagle, and I am a prenatal, postnatal corrective exercise specialist and a diastasis restoration specialist. If I don't see your comments right away, if you comment, I'm sorry, but I'll come back and check, okay? I wanted to talk about squatting and the importance of squatting and how some people are doing it incorrectly and show you how you can do it correctly. A lot of people think that you're going to have a really good, healthy pelvic floor if you're doing Kegels, okay? The thing is when you do a Kegel in isolation, just by itself, it's not really doing anything, and you can actually create it to make it too tight instead of working with it as a whole body issue, okay? So let's just talk about the squat real quick. The squatting is good for your booty, and it's great for your pelvic floor. I said in a previous video that squats and your glutes and your pelvic floor, they're BFFs, and they need to work together, okay? So that's squatting gets all of those involved. So when you squat, what I want you to take note of is when you squat, okay, do your knees come over your toes, okay? Or can you keep your shins vertical? You want to keep your shins vertical, and that can be pretty difficult at times. Some of the reasons why you can't squat is because we sit all the time. So also when you squat, how long does it take you for your pelvis to start tucking under? So a lot of times we're squatting and we're going to start tucking under. Okay, so we don't want to do that. But the reason why we are tucking under is because we sit in cars, on couches, on the potty. Yes, even on the potty. So we just spend a lot of time in a seated position, and that makes our hips really tight, and it shortens our muscles, and we want our muscles to be lengthened. So when we are tucking the pelvic under, we're shortening muscles, so we want to lengthen it. We want to lengthen our pelvic floor muscles, okay? So that's why standing in correct alignment is so important. Okay, so what I want you to do is, if you get a chair, first of all, this is how this kind of helps you. And when you're sitting in a chair, what I want you to do is have your feet kind of out, okay? And sit at the edge of the chair. Get your arms out in front of you and stand up, okay? So what I want you to watch for is, did your knees come in? Because if they did come in, it's because you have tight muscles right here, okay? Your hip muscles are tight. And that's caused by sitting all the time. So what you want to do is you want to keep your shins vertical when you stand up. So you want them to be vertical, okay? And you want to look at your femurs to make sure they're straight. So when you stand up straight, and your knees didn't try to go forward and go back up. Somebody said something. Okay, let me show you. So when you stand up, a lot of times if you see my knees, they're going in. So when I see people squatting, a lot of times their knees are going in like this, inward, instead of staying straight out in front of them. Okay, there you go. So that's what you need to work on. Can you do that? So let me see what somebody's saying real quick. Okay, makes sense. All right, good. So then what you want to do is, if you can get that down, let's see if you can do this. Get your chair in front of you and stand in front of this chair. Can you squat with your knees? Because most people want to go like this and squat and push that chair out in front of them. So that's because of all those tight muscles, okay? So this is your test with this chair. Can you squat with that chair in front of your knees, okay? And then you can also test yourself by going into an Eastern squat like this. And you want to see, are your heels up? Can you do this without your heels going up? And can you do this? How far, when you come down into a squat, when is it that your butt starts to tuck under, okay? We'll probably all tuck under to a certain extent. So those are some things you can practice on. And if it's too hard to get down in a squat, because you have tight hamstrings or tight calves or anything, you can get a bolster. You can roll a yoga mat up and do this, just like this, and put your heels on it to kind of balance you out and try to keep those shins vertical like this, okay? So when you squat and you stick your butt out, do you feel like you're going to fall over? Because if you do, then you know you're kind of doing it right. So just that feeling. And then you want to drive up with your heels. Here's the other thing about squatting, okay? So when you squat, a lot of people when they come up, they rib flare and rib thrust. Okay, that shows a weak core. So what you want to do is get in a squat, lead with your pelvic floor. Just push it back. Make sure it's coming up and back, and you drive up with your heels. See if you can keep your ribs in and down, okay? If you followed me for very long, you know I talk about that a lot with correct alignment, okay? So come here, push back with that pelvic floor, and come up and keep those ribs in and down. And you want to keep from tucking that booty under, okay? So let me see if, and you want to keep that curve in the lower back. And I just want to make sure that I went over everything with y'all real quick. I know one other thing that can help practice. You can do this on a door knob with a strap and tie the strap on. I'm just going to hold on to the counter so you can watch me. So you would hang on to something and squat. You want to hang on and squat. If you can watch this, see this, I'm hanging on and it's helping me keep my shins vertical. Okay, keep those ribs in and down. So you squat, squat, squat. Pay attention to when your butt starts tucking under, okay? That'll kind of show you an area of weakness there, okay? If you have tight calves, I'm going to show you a trick here. So you can have something here, so you, even if it's a half dome yoga block or anything, a lot of people when they are doing their calves, they're trying to loosen them. See what I'm doing? My legs coming over. So you don't want to get that leg over. That's bad alignment. You want to keep everything in a neutral position. Okay? So really keep this here instead of going forward. Okay? So that's a trick. You can do it here even on your, I like to do it on a wall. I just make sure I'm not going forward like this. Okay? Alright, so a way to loosen you up is to move more, okay? And walk more and sit more on the floor. So you want to get in different positions. And I can do that on another video to kind of show you how I sit throughout the day, so I'm not constantly in a sitting position, because I work from home and I'm on the computer a lot. So I move from the floor and I get in different positions and I stand up, and so I will do that too. The other thing, how to loosen quads, hamstrings, calves, is to get you a foam roller and roll those legs out. This is a love-hate relationship. They don't feel great sometimes, especially if you've had bound up fascia tissue. Now, I will do a whole nother video on foam rolling because it's so important and it's great for our bodies, okay? All right, so give those a try. And if squatting is too hard, even in a chair for you to get down, put you a pillow up here, okay? Don't feel bad. Just put you a pillow. Yeah, that's right. It's a love-hate relationship. I cannot tell who's talking. I've got a, never heard of this. For foam rolling. You've never heard of it for foam rolling? Okay, I will definitely do it. But just put a pillow here, and that way you're only having to come down about that far. So you just want to, okay, you just want to get those glutes strong, okay? So maybe this will help you. Sitting too much, weak glute muscles. When we sit, guess what that happens to us? That gives us a flat booty, okay? There's like I see booties and they'll have like a little shelf here where it's kind of flat. And that is from sitting way too much. So anyway, try squatting. You can even, to help you squat every day, you can put some of the essential things that you need every day below, so you're having to get into a squatting position. So when you're sitting on the floor even, you have to kind of get up in a squatting position and get down in a squatting position. So you're working those glute muscles too. So anytime you can look for a way you can add squats into your day, that's really great. And it's great for the pelvic floor as well, okay? So does anybody have any questions before I hop off here? If not, then I'm gonna hop off. I'm so glad y'all joined. I hope this helped y'all. You can find me at fitabulousmoms.com, and you can follow me on Instagram at fitabulousmoms.com. I try to post videos on there. I'm gonna continue posting some things on live video. You're welcome. I'm glad you joined. And if you have a weak core, you're wanting to strengthen that core, or you have diastasis, the separation of the abdominal walls, I have a 5-day free diastasis challenge at fitabulousmoms.com. When you go in there, there's a picture you can click on, and lots of great information in there, foundational issues that you really need to get in place, okay? All right, thanks for joining, and I will be on here soon. Bye.